You think you know yourself. You think you've got control. But deep down, you wonder if you're capable of more. It's not about being the strongest or the smartest. It's about knowing how to control your mind. This is where Ayanokoji Kiyotaka comes in, a master of subtlety, of precision, of moving through the world without being noticed until he wants to be. Ayanokoji doesn't rely on brute force. His strength is in his mind, control, discipline, focus. And if you want to unlock your full potential, you need to master your mind too. Let me make this clear. If you don't have control over your thoughts and actions, you don't stand a chance. Ayanokoji isn't exceptional because he was born that way. He became exceptional by mastering the simplest yet hardest thing to master, himself. Most people go through life like puppets, controlled by their emotions, their fears, and their impulses. They let every distraction pull them off course. You cannot afford to be one of these people. Ayanokoji operates differently. He doesn't just react to the world around him, he manipulates it to his advantage. Every move he makes, every word he speaks is calculated, planned, and you can do the same. How? By embracing discipline. Every great person who has ever walked the earth has understood the value of self-control. Do you think Ayanokoji wastes his time scrolling through his phone, mindlessly watching videos? He sharpens his mind, constantly improving himself while the rest of the world wastes time. Self-discipline is a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. But if you neglect it, you become weaker, more vulnerable to the distractions and temptations that surround you. You have to train yourself to focus, to stay sharp. Imagine being able to sit in a room for hours with no distractions and be completely focused on your goal. That's what Ayanokoji does. That's what you must learn to do. It all starts with mastering your habits. Ayanokoji doesn't let bad habits control him. He doesn't waste time. He doesn't give in to laziness or weakness. He operates with a level of clarity and precision that most people never achieve. You want to be like Ayanokoji? Start by mastering your day, minute by minute, hour by hour. Don't waste time on things that don't bring you closer to your goals. Take control of your mind. When Ayanokoji walks into a room, he already knows everything about everyone in it, not because he's psychic, but because he observes. He takes in every detail, reads every expression. You need to develop that level of awareness. Start paying attention to the world around you, to the people around you. Don't just react, understand, calculate, and control. Most people live their lives in reaction mode. They wait for things to happen, then they respond. That's weak. Ayanokoji doesn't wait. He anticipates. He sees 10 steps ahead. If you want to be like him, you need to stop reacting and start predicting. Every day ask yourself, what's my next move? How will this choice affect me tomorrow, next week, next year? Let's talk about strength. Not physical strength, mental strength. Ayanokoji may not look imposing, but his power comes from his ability to endure, to outthink, to outlast. This is the kind of strength you need to develop. Start small. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations on purpose. Push your limits. Challenge your mind to go further than it ever has before. You will fail. You will fall short. But that's part of the process. Ayanokoji didn't become who he is by winning every battle. He became who he is by learning from his losses, by growing stronger every time he faced defeat. You have to be willing to fail if you want to grow. That's the secret. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Ayanokoji knows this. He doesn't let discomfort stop him. He uses it to fuel his growth. When things get hard, when you want to quit, that's when you push harder. That's when you grow. Now, look at your life. Where are you wasting time? Where are you letting emotions control you? Identify those weaknesses and eliminate them. Ayanokoji wouldn't let petty distractions get in the way of his mission, and neither should you. Stay focused, stay disciplined. People often wonder, how does Ayanokoji stay so calm? It's because he doesn't let his emotions control him. He feels them, but they don't dictate his actions. You need to learn to detach yourself from your emotions. They are not your master. You are theirs. Emotional control is power. When everyone else is losing their heads, Ayanokoji remains steady. That's why he always comes out on top. While others panic, he calculates. While others act impulsively, he plans. But let's be real. Controlling your emotions isn't easy. It takes practice, just like anything else. Start by acknowledging your emotions without letting them rule you. The next time you feel anger, fear, or frustration, take a step back. Observe it. Don't react immediately. Give yourself time to think. Ayanokoji knows the value of patience. He doesn't rush into things. He waits for the perfect moment to strike. You need to cultivate patience. Don't be in such a hurry to achieve your goals. Take your time, plan carefully. Every step you take should be deliberate. Now, you might be thinking, but Ayanokoji is special. I can't be like him. Wrong. Anyone can develop these traits. It just takes discipline, focus, and a willingness to push through discomfort. It's not about talent, it's about commitment. Start today. Start right now. Begin by mastering your thoughts. Every action begins with a thought. Control your thoughts, and you control your life. Ayanokoji knows this. He's not a slave to his impulses. He's not distracted by meaningless things. Every move he makes has a purpose. If you want to be like Ayanokoji, you have to be willing to sacrifice. Sacrifice your comfort, sacrifice your time, and sacrifice your old habits. Only then will you grow. Only then will you become the person you were meant to be. This is your moment, your opportunity to become someone great. But it won't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey. And every day, you must decide to take one step closer to your goal. Ayanokoji didn't become who he is by chance. He became who he is through relentless self-discipline and control. If you want that same power, you have to earn it. So ask yourself, are you ready to take control? Are you ready to be like Ayanokoji? The choice is yours. You've come this far. The difference between you and the rest is that you've already taken the first step. Most people won't even get to this point because they refuse to face the reality of their weakness. They'll make excuses, procrastinate, and blame the world for their failures. But Ayanokoji doesn't make excuses. He takes responsibility for everything, good or bad. If you want to operate at his level, you need to stop blaming your circumstances and start controlling what you can. Let me tell you something critical. The most dangerous person is the one who has nothing to lose. Ayanokoji doesn't fear failure, nor does he fear judgment. He has eliminated the emotional attachments that hold most people back. When you stop worrying about what others think or how you'll be judged, you will unlock true freedom. It's that fear of judgment that keeps most people in chains. You have to be willing to be misunderstood, to be underestimated. You don't need to be loud or boastful to make an impact. Ayanokoji moves in silence. He lets others think they have the upper hand, all while he's planning 5 steps ahead. This is the essence of power, knowing when to strike and when to wait. It's easy to get caught up in the noise, to be reactive, but true strength lies in quiet confidence. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. Let your actions speak for themselves. Here's where most people go wrong. They think their value lies in being recognized. They crave validation. Ayanokoji doesn't care about being noticed. He only cares about results. If you want to adopt his mindset, stop seeking approval. Whether it's from friends, family, or strangers on the internet, it doesn't matter. The only validation you need comes from within. True power comes from mastering your mind and knowing your worth, not from the opinions of others. You have to become comfortable in the shadows, just like Ayanokoji. Work in silence. Let others take the spotlight while you build your strength behind the scenes. When you finally decide to step forward, they won't even see you coming. But when you do, your impact will be undeniable. Think about it. Ayanokoji is rarely seen in moments of weakness, not because he doesn't experience them, but because he understands that vulnerability is best kept hidden. That's the key. Don't let people see your struggles. Let them see your victories. The battles you fight internally are your own, and they should be fought in silence. Keep your cards close to your chest and always remain unpredictable. People are easily distracted by noise, by drama, and by chaos. But the real power lies in staying calm amidst the storm. Ayanokoji is a master of staying collected no matter what's happening around him. He remains centered while others spiral out of control. This is what gives him an edge. This is what will give you an edge. Start practicing stillness. When everyone around you is losing their mind, you must remain in control. Control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. Another critical lesson from Ayanokoji's approach is his understanding of human nature. He knows what motivates people, what drives them, and what controls them. Most people are easily manipulated by their desires, whether it's for power, love, or recognition. But Ayanokoji is different. He isn't motivated by what drives most people. He understands that the real game is not about chasing external things, but about mastering the internal. If you can control your own mind, you can control everything around you. And here's something else to consider. While others are constantly chasing happiness or pleasure, Ayanokoji has mastered the art of detachment. He knows that true contentment doesn't come from fleeting pleasures, but from inner peace and purpose. Stop chasing what society tells you is important. Find your own path, just like Ayanokoji did. When you stop being a slave to your desires, you will discover a level of freedom that few people ever experience. Now, you might be asking yourself, how do I apply all of this to my own life? How do I start thinking and acting like Ayanokoji? The answer is simpler than you think, one step at a time. You don't become a master overnight. You start by mastering your day, your habits, and your thoughts. You learn to observe the world around you, not just live in it. You start operating with purpose and precision. You stop being reactive and you start being proactive. Every day is an opportunity to sharpen your mind and discipline your body. Every decision you make should bring you one step closer to mastery. Most people will never do this because they are too comfortable being average. But Ayanokoji wasn't born to be average, and neither were you. It's time to stop playing small. Start thinking of yourself as someone who is destined for greatness and act accordingly. Remember, Ayanokoji doesn't need to be the loudest person in the room to have the most impact. He lets his actions, his precision, and his discipline do the talking. You don't need to boast. You don't need to seek validation. Let your results speak for themselves. Every day you waste is a day that someone else is getting stronger, smarter, and more disciplined. Don't let that happen. You must be relentless in your pursuit of self-mastery. Your life can change the moment you decide to stop making excuses. Ayanokoji didn't wait for the perfect moment to take control. He created his own opportunities. You must do the same. Life won't hand you success on a silver platter. You have to earn it. But once you do, you'll realize that the journey was worth it. You'll see that the real reward wasn't the end result, but the person you became in the process. If you take one thing away from this, let it be this. You have the power to control your mind. Everything starts with your mindset. Ayanokoji's strength isn't in his physical power, but in his mental discipline. He controls his mind, and through that, he controls his world. You have the same potential. You just need to unlock it. So, are you ready to take the first step? Are you ready to start living like Ayanokoji? Calm, focused, unshakable. This is your moment. The choice is yours. Control your mind, and you control your destiny. You can become whoever you want to be, but it all starts with a decision. The decision to master yourself. The decision to be relentless. The decision to never give up. You're here because you know deep down that something needs to change. You've felt that nagging voice inside your head telling you that you're capable of more. That's the same voice Ayanokoji listened to when he decided to separate himself from the herd. He didn't just follow what everyone else was doing, he created his own path. The first thing you need to understand is that the road to mastery is a lonely one. But that's where the true growth happens, in the silence, in the struggle, in the moments when no one is watching. Look around you. Most people are stuck in a cycle of distractions and mindless habits. They waste time on things that don't matter, chasing fleeting pleasures and numbing themselves to avoid facing their true potential. Ayanokoji broke free from that cycle by realizing that discipline and focus are the keys to success. While others waste their energy on pointless pursuits, you must guard yours like a treasure. Every minute you spend mindlessly scrolling or procrastinating is a minute that could be spent sharpening your mind, honing your skills, and moving one step closer to your goals. But let's be real, mastering yourself is not an easy task. There will be moments when you want to quit, when the temptation to take the easy road will be overwhelming. Ayanokoji faces these challenges too, but the difference is that he doesn't give in. You have to build a mentality where quitting is not an option. When things get tough, that's when you push harder. You have to train your mind to see obstacles as opportunities, just like Ayanokoji does. He uses challenges to sharpen his intellect and strengthen his willpower. Do you know what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary? It's the ability to endure pain, discomfort, and uncertainty without losing focus. Ayanokoji knows that pain is temporary, but the lessons you learn from it last forever. You need to embrace discomfort and see it as a tool for growth. The next time you face adversity, don't run from it. Face it head on. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal goals, challenges are inevitable. How you respond to them is what will define you. The modern world will try to convince you that instant gratification is the path to happiness. But Ayanokoji knows the truth. Real fulfillment comes from delayed gratification. It's the ability to sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term success. That's what separates a master from the masses. You need to delay the reward, put in the work, and trust that the results will come. Ayanokoji isn't looking for quick wins or easy solutions. He's playing the long game. He's patient, methodical, and relentless. You need to adopt the same mindset if you want to reach his level. You see, most people are reactive. They respond to whatever life throws at them without a plan or strategy. Ayanokoji is different. He's always thinking ahead, anticipating the next move. He doesn't wait for life to happen to him. He takes control and makes things happen. You have to become the architect of your own life. Don't wait for opportunities to come to you. Create them. Plan your moves in advance and always be ready to adapt when necessary. This level of foresight and planning is what sets apart the ordinary from the exceptional. You have to stop thinking like everyone else. Most people are content with being average, but Ayanokoji doesn't settle for mediocrity. He aims for mastery in everything he does. You need to cultivate the same mindset. Every action you take should be deliberate and purposeful. You have to stop wasting time on things that don't matter and start focusing on what does. Whether it's building your career, improving your relationships, or mastering a skill, you need to approach everything with the mindset of excellence. But let me remind you, this isn't about becoming perfect. Ayanokoji isn't perfect. He has flaws, weaknesses, and moments of doubt, just like everyone else. The difference is that he doesn't let those moments define him. He acknowledges them, learns from them, and then moves forward. That's what you need to do. Don't get stuck in your mistakes. Learn from them, grow, and keep moving forward. The only real failure is giving up. As long as you keep pushing, keep learning, and keep striving, you're already ahead of the game. At the end of the day, this journey isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Ayanokoji isn't trying to be like anyone else. He knows who he is, and he plays to his strengths. You need to figure out what makes you unique, what sets you apart, and then maximize those qualities. Stop comparing yourself to others. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. If you're better today than you were yesterday, you're on the right path. So, ask yourself, what kind of life do you want to live? Do you want to be like the 99% of people who are content with being average? Or do you want to be in the 1% who strive for greatness? The choice is yours. But understand this, choosing greatness isn't easy. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and relentless focus. But if you commit to the journey, the rewards are far greater than anything you could ever imagine. You'll achieve things most people only dream of. You'll become the person you've always known you could be. You'll live a life without limits. This is where the real work begins. Every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn, and to push your limits. Just like Ayanokoji, you have to approach every day with intention and purpose. You can't afford to coast through life. You need to attack it with everything you've got. Whether you're working on your career, your health, or your mindset, you need to give it 100% every single day. That's what it takes to be great. That's what it takes to live like Ayanokoji. Remember, this is a lifelong journey. There's no finish line. Ayanokoji understands that mastery isn't a destination. It's a process. It's about constantly evolving, constantly improving, and constantly striving for more. There's always another level to reach, another challenge to conquer, another skill to master. You should never be satisfied with where you are. Always aim higher. Always push further. As you move forward from this moment, remember one thing. The only person who can stop you is yourself. No one else has the power to control your mind, your actions, or your future. That power belongs to you and you alone. So take it, own it, and use it to create the life you've always wanted. Just like Ayanokoji, you have the potential to be unstoppable. Now it's time to live like it.